So Muzan Kibutsuji has, completely terrorized the Demon Slayer universe for 1,000 years. I mean, the guy has absolute biological perfection. He can slaughter an entire city in minutes.
Right, he's genuinely terrifying.
But if you look at the wider anime landscape, he honestly wouldn't even qualify as a mid-tier henchman. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. You sent over a pretty wild CBR article titled Beyond the Demon King, and our mission today is exploring exactly why the ultimate big bad in one universe gets, well, completely obliterated when you drop him into another.
Yeah, it really forces a major reevaluation of, what makes a villain truly powerful, because we are so used to that Demon King archetype being the absolute ceiling.
Okay, let's unpack this, because it's like being a heavyweight champion in one boxing league, only to find out another league has fighters with literal superpowers.
Exactly, yeah.
So what does this all mean for his character? Like, if other villains outclass Muzan so easily, does that actually diminish his threat level as the Demon King?
Well, what's fascinating here is how comparing villains across different series forces us to basically completely reevaluate the ceiling of power. Demon King is ultimately a localized title, right?
Right.
When we step beyond his specific world, the rules just change. We find antagonists operating on entirely vastly superior scales of power, because Muzan is strictly a biological threat, which is actually a massive limitation.
Let's get into the mechanics of that, because Muzan's entire gimmick is cellular regeneration. You cut him, he heals instantly.
Right, almost instantly.
Yeah, and the only thing that effectively kills him is sunlight. But this article brings up Sosu Eizan from Bleach. And, I mean, Eizan doesn't care about biology at all.
No, not even a little. Eizan manipulates souls and spiritual pressure. So if Eizan hits Muzan with his illusionary ability, Kyokisuigetsu, Muzan's regeneration is totally useless.
Oh, wow. Because it bypasses the physical stuff.
Exactly. The attack bypasses his cells entirely and targets his perception, like his spiritual essence. So Muzan would be regenerating his physical body while his mind is completely shattered and controlled.
Wait, but couldn't Muzan just, outlast it? I mean, Muzan doesn't age.
Well,
If we're talking pure survival, Eizan still has a physical form that can technically be damaged, even if it's incredibly difficult, right?
I mean, normally maybe, but Eizan actually merged with the Hogyoku. That makes him truly immortal on a conceptual level, so outlasting him really isn't an option.
Jeez.
But, let's take a purely physical powerhouse from the article to compare. Like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, man, yeah.
Frieza doesn't need to wait for the sun to come up to beat Muzan. He just, points a finger and vaporizes the actual planet Muzan is standing on.
So cellular regeneration is basically irrelevant if there are literally no cells left to regenerate.
Precisely.
It's like bringing a world-class Kevlar vest to a nuclear blast. I mean, the defense mechanism simply doesn't scale to that attack type at all.
Right, and that's where across-universe power scaling breaks down those traditional titles. A localized demon king operating on biological rules is just instantly outclassed by beings capable of existence erasure or gravity manipulation or reality warping.
But if Muzan is so easily dwarfed by, a planet buster or a soul reaper, I really have to ask, does this ruin him as a villain for you?
That's a really good question.
If we know he's technically weak on the grand anime tier list, does knowing that drain the tension out of his own story?
Honestly, I'd argue it enhances the tension. Power scaling isn't really about raw numbers, It's about the gap between the antagonist and the protagonist.
Right, totally relative.
Exactly. Frieza is fighting Saiyans who can also blow up planets. Muzan, meanwhile, is fighting teenagers with swords and breathing techniques.
Yeah, so the relative threat is actually way higher. Muzan doesn't need to destroy a solar system to be terrifying, because his opponents can literally bleed out from a scratch. A localized threat just feels more intimate.
More intimate and more desperate, yeah. That limitation makes him a much more effective character for his specific narrative.
Right.
Like, a villain who just blows up a planet is a spectacle, but a villain who stalks you through a Taisho-era alleyway where his blood turns people into monsters, that creates visceral horror.
So true.
The article even points out that while Muzan gets mathematically outclassed by cosmic beings like Boros from One Punch Man, Boros completely lacks that personal psychological terror.
So I guess the ultimate takeaway for you listening is this. Evaluating a villain's threat level by stacking their stats against other universes is fun, but absolute power isn't about who can destroy the most matter.
No, not at all.
It's really about the sheer impossibility of the heroes in that specific world surviving the encounter. And Muzan is the peak of his own food chain, right?
Totally. His power ceiling is perfectly calibrated to make the hero's struggle feel just completely insurmountable.
Exactly. But it does leave you with a final thought to chew on. Like, if a villain's threat level is strictly relative to the heroes of their specific world, does comparing them to stronger villains from entirely different universes actually help us understand their character? Or does it just ruin the dramatic stakes and reduce them to a spreadsheet of hit points? Think about that next time someone asks if a character could beat Goku.